Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I hope life is treating you good. We've got a very exciting video for today. So I recently put a question poll over on my Instagram and a few people asked us if I would do like an agony aunt kind of deep girl chat type of video. I have actually done 2 videos like this in the past and I'm going to link them below because I did talk quite in depth about a range of topics on them videos. So there is 2 of them, so I'm going to link them below. If your question's not in this video, it might actually be in them ones, hence why I didn't answer it in this one. Fucking hell, these days I can't even speak and I'm out of bloody breath. So I did ask for some other type of questions that you would want us to do. So today's video, we're just going to sit down and have a long deep chat. I'm going to tell you my thoughts and opinions on certain topics. Now this isn't like a Q&A where I kind of just answer a question and move on. We do delve quite deep into the questions, so if you're not really in for a deep chat, this probably ain't going to be the video for you. And get yourself a beverage of choice if you are staying tonight, because could be a long one. So without further rat-tat-tat, I'm just going to get into your deep and juicy questions that you wanted to hear my opinion on for a deep girl chat. So let's get into it. The first question that got asked is about contraception, what contraception works for me. And I have spoke about this before. I can't remember if it was on the last videos like this, but I have definitely spoke about it. But I have always had the contraceptive implant. I got it at the age of 16. It lasts for 3 years in your arm and then you have to renew it or take it out if you're wanting to kind of try for a baby, or if it's just not working for you, you can get it removed. Like a little tiny stick thing and it sits in your arm. You get it kind of like injected in. The worst part about having the implant for me is when you have to get it out. It's not as easy as getting it in. I have had it since I was 16. I'm now 25, so I've had a few of them. I am actually due next month. I am due now to renew. Whoopsie. But yeah, I've always chose the contraceptive implant over any other form of contraception. It just works for me. I know there's people that it really does not work for and who absolutely despise the implant, but I know there's people who the implant does work for. Why I decided to go for the implant: when I was 16 years old, I went for a doctor's appointment. My doctors actually offered this really amazing service when I turned 16. I got like a leaflet through the door and I got asked if I wanted to go for a GP appointment where they would talk about contraception, have safe sex and everything like that. And it was actually a really educational meeting and it avoided my mum having to do that kind of awkward conversation with us, even though me and my mum are very open and would probably had the conversation before. But I was a very sex obsessed teenager, and when I got to 16 I wanted sex desperately and found Sean and had it. So it was very important that I was having safe sex, and I always have had safe sex. The reason that I like the implant is because you don't have to worry about it once it's in your arm. It's there for 3 years. You don't have to remember to take it like you would the pill. I'm very forgetful and I just know I could fuck up the pill, so I just didn't trust myself. I have heard about the coil, but honestly, I've heard that it's really, really painful. And my friend Rhiannon, I'm sure she wouldn't mind us saying this, but she actually fell pregnant on the coil. Now, the contraceptive implant is not exact. Like, no contraception is 100%, so you always do have to be careful. However, I just like the implant. It's all I know. I've had it since I was 16. I don't have any issues on it, to be honest. Like, it just works for me. I rarely have periods. Well, I would say I have a period like every other to every other 3 months. Like, it's quite irregularly, so it works for me. I don't have to deal with them monthly, which I like. There's just, yeah, there's a lot of pros to it for me. I've always liked it. My mum's always had the implant, so we can always kind of discuss things. Just like it. But I would say with any contraception, it is definitely personal, person to person. Go and speak to your GP, see what they would recommend and trial it out and see if it's for you. I would also say make sure that you're using condoms as well with any contraception, because as you know, they do not protect you from STIs. So if you're having multiple sexual partners, please, please, please use condoms, or make sure that they're getting tested for STIs as well, because the pill and the implant and everything like that do not protect you from STIs. Next question said, is period sex okay? If you want period sex and you're okay with it and your partner's okay with it, then period sex is completely fine. There's nothing to say that when a woman's on her period she can't have sex. It really just depends on you and your partner. If it's something that you feel comfortable with, if it's something that you want to have a go at, have a go. For me, I'm not the biggest fan of it, not gonna lie. Just a little bit too sloppy for my liking. I just think it creates an unnecessary mess. I would rather we just waited until I was off my period. It's just a personal preference, but if you're happy with it, your partner's happy with it, go for it. The next question says, would you talk about cheating and would you take back a cheat? This question for me, I think is so hard to answer, because I really feel like there's so many different versions of cheating. I mean, at the end of the day, cheating is cheating, but everybody's what am I trying to say? Everybody's interpretation of cheating is different. And I can completely understand why some people decide to take back somebody who's cheated. I think I would lose a lot of trust if my partner went and slept with somebody else while they were meant to be in a relationship with me, whether it be sleeping, oral sex, kissing, anything like that. I do class it as cheating. And for me personally, I think a lot of trust would be lost if something like that happened. But then again, and for me, I mean, it's never a situation that I've been in, so I think it's really hard to talk from a perspective that I'm not in and I don't know. But in all honesty, I do not think I could be with someone who cheated on us. Depending on the circumstances, depending how it happened and everything like that, I think there'd be a lot to consider with the situation. But if my partner had slept with somebody else while they were with me, I think I would really, really struggle to be in a relationship with them after that. And I think I would always have a lot of doubt. I think it would be a struggle for me, but I don't want to just say like, no, never take back a cheater, like blah, 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 because I understand that there's so many different circumstances out there. But I mean, at the end of the day, a cheater is a cheater. If you're in a relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, to me, just don't go there. Like, there's nothing I think is a more horrible way than you could hurt somebody than cheating. Because when you're in a relationship, you love that person's your life, and a lot of the time in relationships you plan on spending your full life with that person, and for them to go and betray you in a way which I just think is like one of the worst things they could ever do, I'm not here for that. I'm really not here for that. I wouldn't take a cheater back. I like this question. So one of the questions was, you seem to have made a lot of friends in 2022. How do you make friends? All honesty, I really wanted to make friends going into 2022. I know that sounds so sad, but I just feel like I lost a lot of friends over the last few years through shit things that I'd maybe done, or shit things that they'd done, or even sometimes just circumstances and scenarios that didn't work out, unfortunately. And when I went into 2022, one of my main goals was to make friends. And honestly, once I decided that that was a goal and I opened myself up to making friends, they kind of just came, and it was like I didn't have to try. I was just in situations or scenarios where I was able to make friends. I think when it comes to making a friend, I think be open to every situation you're in and think where you are, who you're with, and you know what, even like, I don't want to say like, God, just randomly Instagram people on DM and stuff, but like if there's a girl who always engages with your content and you're like, she looks like my vibe, looks like we'd get on, pop her a message. Like, you know what, I'm one of these people who like, everybody's a bit shy and like doesn't want to be the first to approach things, and I'm like, I don't care. If I think we've got the same vibe, I like the style, I like your vibe, then I'm probably going to message you, because I just think, you know, you've got to put yourself out there to get things back. And I just think if you open yourself up to like, I want friends, and then I do think they'll come. A question said, what is the best advice you've given your friend after a breakup? One of my friends actually had a breakup recently, and I feel like I'm not great with advice and stuff like that, but I did send her a text. I'm going to read it out. I'm not saying that this is the best advice or anything like that, because it is probably not. But I just don't know what to say in situations like this. Talking, and obviously I was asking her how she was feeling and stuff. And this was the text I sent her. I'm going to keep my name anonymous and everything, but I just said, you know what? The next few months are going to be the hardest few months of your life, but you will come out of this so much stronger than you ever thought you were. You've got your gorgeous boy, because she does have a gorgeous son, and I said, you've got your gorgeous boy to keep you going, who you'll always have by your side. I said, it's going to be hard, but you will get through it 100%. Make sure you're distracting yourself as much as you can. Tell your friends and family how you're feeling at all time. I'm always here if you ever want us to pop over for a coffee, pop us a text. I'm honestly so sorry that this is happening. I didn't know what to say. I have never been in a relationship breakup, so I couldn't give advice from a personal stance. And this person is someone who I've been very, very close to nearly all through my life. So I just wanted to know that I was there. And, you know, I can't imagine what she's going through. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit and say I know how you feel, because I don't. I have not experienced it. I have not been through something like that. But all I think you can do if your friend is going through something like this is really try and support them in any way you can. If they're really feeling down, go for a coffee, go for a drive, anything like that. I think it's just important that you're there for your friend, because at the end of the day, nothing you do or say is going to make them feel any better. But I think keeping them distracted, you know, trying to like, even if they just want someone to talk to let the feelings out, be that person for them, because I think talking is one of the best coping mechanisms. It always is for me, whether I switch on my camera and talk, or whether I sit and have a nap at my mum or Sean or something like that, or my friends. I think talking is a really great therapy. And I think talking really does help. So I can't say that I'm really great at giving advice, especially on this topic. I am 110% not, but I would just say try and surround yourself with people who make you happy, your friends, your family. Tell them how you're feeling. Don't keep things in. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling shit, tell them. And I'm sure that they'll be able to help you, come around and talk, go out with you. Like, you're not alone in this. I think when big things happen in my life, it's so easy to feel like we're alone and there's nobody that wants to be there for us. But a matter of fact is 99.9% of the time we all have people around us who care for us, who want to be there. And it might not even be people you think of. It might not be immediate friends, it might not be immediate family, work colleagues. Like, there's so many people who you'll interact with on your day-to-day life that I believe would be there for you if you needed them. And I just think it's so easy in situations in my life to feel isolated and feel like we have nobody, but actually we do. But actually a lot of us have so many people around us, and I think we just need to realise that, especially when we're going through tough situations, and reach out. I think it's so important to reach out. Next question is red flags when becoming friends with somebody new. I feel like, ooh, this is a hard one to answer because I'm quite bad at picking up red flags. Like, I just, I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know. I don't know. Some things that I think to me are important when making new friends is somebody who you click with naturally and conversation flows naturally. If we're having to force a conversation, or if the conversation just doesn't naturally flow, to me, that, I mean, fair enough, the first time you meet, that might be the case, because obviously the first time you meet, it is a little bit awkward, isn't it? But like, if you continue to meet and the conversation doesn't flow naturally, and there's like awkward silences or anything like that, that to me would indicate that maybe you aren't as similar, or maybe you're not into the same amount of stuff. Because like with the friends I've made recently, or with friends that I've had for years, we can just go out, conversation will flow all night naturally and everything like that. And I think that's a huge thing for me, is that it's just not awkward. I can talk to them about what I want and I can be myself. If you find yourself putting on a different persona or something around somebody, or if you're trying to kind of meet the same persona as them, but you know it's so distrue to yourself, to me that's a red flag. Like, I feel like you are not on the same wavelength, and you either need to stop being yourself with them and see if your friendship still continues and see if you still get on, or maybe that friendship just isn't the right one, if that makes sense. So when it comes to meeting new friends and stuff, that I look for is someone who I can get on with. We're interested in doing the same things. If your friend wants to go to the library every weekend but you're not into going to the library, then I don't think that's going to work. Like, me and my friend, I'll just use Natalie for an example, but we love going out for a drink, and we have been going out for a drink quite a few times recently, and she's just someone who, we don't just go for drinks like we do other stuff. We go for nice brunches, and we've done other stuff together as well. We've been at Zumba together, but we do like going out for a drink. And I think it's important you find friends that want to do the same thing as you, because I think that's how your friendship will grow, and that's how you will connect a lot more, if you're doing the same things. When it comes to red flags, I really don't know. Maybe like, I would say like, what for me would be like, if they ever make you feel a certain way, like for example, if you're going out with this friend and you don't leave. So like, for example, if you go out with your friend, this would be a red flag actually. If you go out with someone and then the next day, or when you go home after meeting with them, you feel down or deflated, to me that would be a red flag, because I feel like once you leave your friends, or once you've been out with your friends, you should always be like happy and upbeat, and you know, like you should feel good about yourself because you've just been out socializing with your friend. So I feel like if you're coming away from meetups and stuff like that and you're not feeling great, I would say that that's a potential red flag, because maybe you aren't getting on, or maybe there's some vibe there that's just not working. Yeah, I don't know, maybe this was a shit answer, but I just, I don't know. I'm bad at picking up flags. The next one said, can you talk a little bit about feeling lost and not like you're not on the right path? I have felt this so many times throughout my life, and I would say the core moment that I felt this was leaving school. Leaving school was such a pinnacle moment for me in my life. Pinnacle, is that the right word? I don't know. I'm dyslexic. I say random words and I hope that they fit. But it was such a moment in my life where I did not know where the hell I was going, what I was doing, where my life was taking us, where I was going to be in 10 years. It was a moment of pure unsureness. Like, I did not know what to do. I went and done childcare, didn't like it. I left and went to my local authority council and done business admin apprenticeships, then went on to do project support, and then went on to do HR. Really liked the council, not gonna lie. However, the last job I had in the council wasn't the best. The place where I was working was a really quiet workplace. There was nothing going on, but it allowed me a lot of thinking time in terms of how to deal with feeling lost and stuff like that. The way I dealt with it was thinking about what I want to do, where I want to be, and how I'm not there. But I also started to think of little realistic steps that I could take to get there. For example, for me, I always dreamed of doing YouTube or having a YouTube career. I would literally go to bed and dream about it. I would dream about, I'm going to just name and shame, well, not shame, but I'm going to just name Sophie Louise as an example because I watched her videos constantly. I still do. I think she produces amazing quality content and I really like her videos. But before I even done YouTube, I would constantly sit and watch Sophie's videos all of the time, and I would go to bed dreaming about doing YouTube videos. So one day I sat myself down and I was like, okay, so you're not where you want to be. You're in an office job, you find it degrading, you find like your life just isn't working here. This isn't what you intend for yourself. You want to be a YouTuber. How do you do that? First step would probably be to start a YouTube channel. That would probably work. So I started a YouTube channel and it didn't go anywhere for like a year and a half, but I persisted. I think one of the worst things you can do in life is give up. You do not know where life is going to take you if you give up, and you'll always have that self-doubt. Like, I think now, if I never left my job for YouTube, I would have always had doubt. If I never started the YouTube channel, I wouldn't have had anything that I have today. So I think, do not give up. It took me a year and a half to get not an income, but even just people following us, people watching my videos outside of my grandma, mum and nana. It took a long time, but you have to persist if you want something. And if you feel it's right and you know that that's the path you're meant to be on, you've got to persist. I think I was so, this isn't obviously everybody, but me as a person, I would sit there and think, but I want this in life, but I wasn't doing anything to help us get that or achieve that. So I think it's so important to be realistic with yourself and just go, look, you're saying you want this, but what are you actually doing to achieve this? And I feel like it is very privileged of us to sit here and say, you know, chase your goals, do this. Like, you know, I just think it's about being realistic with yourself. Sit down and say, are you doing little things that you know could aid you in getting ultimately on the path you want to get on? If not, then you're not going to get there. You need to change things in your life to get there. Now, it could just be little steps. Don't just quit your job and start a YouTube channel with no income because it might not work. But setting up a YouTube account could be your first start to it and doing it alongside your job. I'm just using YouTube as an example. I know that that's not everybody's path, but obviously it's the one I wanted, so it's just easier for me to talk about. But yeah, I feel like this is going to change for everybody because everybody's going to have like a different goal in their life. And, you know, I think this advice isn't going to run true for every single thing, but that's just kind of my experience. Okay, I've been filming for 45 minutes. So I'm going to leave this video here. I feel like I just ramble on and ramble on. If you would like us to do more parts of this, then let us know comments below. I will have the 2 prior videos that I've done linked below, and then you can also watch this one. Just in case your question has already been answered, but just not in this video. But yeah, I'm going to love and leave you now because I have quite a bit of editing to do and I want to get some of it done tonight. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this sit down, more chat, chill video. And without a further rat-a-tat-tat, I'll see you very shortly for another one.